Okay, so good morning everyone. Welcome to the week three of our discussion for the marine environment. So for the week three, our module for today is about the principles of environmental protection. So our learning objectives for today is to discuss the principles of the environmental protection and its discharge provisions and the special areas of the annexes. So it is under the STCW of Table A dash 2/1. So for the Annex 1, we have the prevention of pollution by oil. So it is with regards the pollutants of using the oil or the discharge of oil. No? So what is the meaning of oil? So it is a petroleum in any form which includes the oil, fuel, sludge oil, refuse or refined products. So yung mga oil na tinutukoy dito, it's either coming from ships or from shore. So from ships, syempre yung mga merchant ships natin na nadi-discharge accident accidentally on board, and yung mga discharge coming from the shore, no, yung mga tinatapon natin sa dagat na which is sometimes it is not accidentally, no. uh, yung iba kasi wala namang pakialam, no, basta nagtatapon na lang. So in this oil mixture, it means the mixture of oil content, no. So ito yung mga for example yung mga food natin, no, meron siyang uh, contain ng oil. For example na yung mga pinirito natin, no, meron siya pa ring mixture of oil. For one example lang yun, no, ng oily mixture. So hindi lang sa pagkain, meron din sa mga products na ginagamit natin in our daily lives. So one factor na lang din yun is yung sa mga households natin. So what about the oil fuel? No, it means any use of oil in connection with the propulsion and auxiliary machinery of the ship in which such oil is carried. So ito yung mga nanggagaling sa vessel natin in which ginagamit natin para tumakbo yung machinery natin or para tumakbo yung vessel natin. So it is a uh, oil pollution na nanggagaling sa vessel, no? Kasi uh, siyempre, no, meron tayong mga makina na tumatakbo, and yung mga used oil na yon hindi na natin pwedeng gamitin pa ulit. So tendency iba tinatapon overboard. Yung iba naman sa facility. So yung right term diyan or right tamang pag-dispose is sa facility in which support na natin yung dini-discharge. Or for the regulation 1, nearest land, it is the term from the nearest land in which, by the way, kaya natin sinasabi yung term na nearest land or yung mga definitions na to kasi it is being used on the posters sa marine pollution. So, under siya na marine environment, no? On the marine pollution, makita niyo yung mga posters, may mga term kayo na makikita doon na uncommon or hindi nyo masyado napapakinggan on our daily lives. So, but with regards sa pollution prevention, makikita nyo siya, no, sa mga posters on board. So the term nearest land, it is the term from it which means the baseline from the territorial of the sea, uh, or the territory in which you can establish with the accordance of the law. So ibig sabihin, in the term of a nearest land, magagamit nyo siya. For example, you can dispose a waste from the nearest land. Ibig sabihin, pwede kayo magtapon ng waste disposal to the nearest land. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng nearest land? So ito yung definitions na yon, no? And in this purpose, the present convention from the nearest land of the northeastern coast of Australia shall mean in a line draw from the point of the coast of Australia. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung linya or line draw in which pwede pa kayong magtapon, no? Or hindi kayo pwedeng magtapon. Dalawa lang yan eh, vice versa. It depends upon the sentence na gagamitin sa regulation. Pwedeng sabihin na one nautical mile from the nearest land, you can dispose waste or food waste. So, ibig sabihin, pwede kayo magtapon. Or pwedeng sabihin din na 5 nautical miles, you could not. withdraw any waste from the nearest land. So ano ba ibig sabihin ng nearest land? Again, going back to the definition, no? So kaya yung nearest land na tinatawag, it is used from the regulations. So pag sinabi namang special area, it means a sea area where for recognized of technical reason relation to the oceanographical or ecological condition and to the particular character in its traffic adoption of the mandatory methods for the prevention of sea pollution by oil or required. So pag sinabing special area, it is area where you cannot dispose kasi meron lang siyang special areas or merong pine-prevent sa area na 'to na for example 'no, yung Great Barrier of Reef in Australia 'no. So, tawag din dun special area in which it is a oceanological or ecological condition in which may makakasama na meron tayo pine-prevent na natural resources. So, in which means the area also, it is a mandatory methods in preventing sea pollution by oil, no? So, pag may nakita kayong special area, sir, ano po ba yung mga special area? So, along the way, pag-aaralan natin yung mga special areas na tinutukoy dito, no? But the thing is, for the definition of special areas, we use these technical reasons in relation for the oceanographical and ecological conditions, no? So next, ano ba yung effect ng oil sa ating environment? It blanket the surface, so yung pinag-aralan natin nakaraan, no? In interfering the oxygen between the sea or the atmosphere and also the blanket the seabed. So last meeting, diniscuss na rin natin to, hindi ko na masyadong i-elaborate. And its elements are toxic and can either enter the food chain of the marine life. So it also interferes the recreational use of the beaches. So syempre tayo nakikinabang diyan, tayo yung mga nagbi-beach and also the seawater distilling inlands to the deposited tidal mud or floods with the detrimental results, no? Yung mga nakakamatay sa ating marine lives. So pagdating sa Annex 2 Regulation of Control Pollution by Noxious Liquid in Bulk, no? Or NLB. In this regulation, it is carried for the chemical. These conventions have a greatly influence for the protection of environment and life at sea. So through this aspect related to the constructions and regulation of ships carrying products under the Annex 2. Ano ba yung tinatawag natin na noxious liquid substances, no? In bulk. Pag sinabing in bulk, yung mga bulto-bulto. One example, it is a liquid substances in which potential hazard in marine environment. So it is carrying a dangerous hazards. In marine environment, in bulk, defined it is four category system for noxious liquid substances. So the only exception for this is regard for the mineral oil, as these are regulated in the Annex 1. So in the noxious liquid substances in bulk, it also applies to the regardless of the size of the vessel, including for those 500 gross tonnage in a carriage of bulk, cargoes of dangerous chemicals, or the NLS or noxious liquid substances, other than the petroleum or similar flammable products as follows. Ano ba yung mga flammable products as follows na yon? Ito yung liquid substances. So products having significant fire hazard, ibig sabihin potential to fire hazard, such as those petroleum oils and similar flammable products. So products having significant hazards in addition to other than flammability. So other than flammable or flammable, no, rather it is also significant for the pollution of sea. So in this diagram of the definition of noxious liquid substances, the code are having a vapor pressure not exceeding for 0.28 MPa absolute at the temperature of 37.8 degrees Celsius. By the way, the MPa stands for the megapascals, no? So for the Annex 2, it is under the MARPOL, and Annex 2 covers the pollution categories and the ship types requirements. So in addition with this, it is also operational requirements. Pagdating naman natin sa susunod na ating annex is harmful substances, which is Annex 3. So ano ba yung Annex 3 natin? So for Annex 3, we have the purpose of regulation, harmful substance in a package form, definition of Structure 8, Regulation 1, Appendix 1 Appendix. So this regulation identify the marine pollutants. So yung mga nagpo-pollute sa ating marine life, they could also package and stowed in board ships, and also to minimize the accidental pollution, no? Yung mga accidental pollution na nagaganap sa under the ocean, and also it is to aid or gamutin yung ating recovery to clear the marks and distinguish from other or less harmful cargoes. So, under the Annex 3, harmful substances or the substances which are identified as marine pollutants in the IMDG code. So, ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng IMDG code as the marine pollutants? So, IMDG code, it stands for International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code, no? So, it is under your, I think, MARPOL, na pag-aralan nyo yan. Ewan ko kung natapos na kayo sa MARPOL. So MARPOL, it is the sign for the marine pollutant. Before, it is the one on the left side, but now we have a new symbol for the Annex 3, no? Or for the marine pollutant. So under Annex 3, in a package form, it is defined as the forms of the containment specified in a harmful substances in a IMDG code. So package form, ibig sabihin nakapack siya, compact. Pero kasi meron tayong tinatawag na transporting of goods in a large quantity. So yung mga large quantity na yon, kumbaga, yung pinaka lagayan or pinaka container niya nasa barko na. Kumbaga, how can you describe this? When you are transporting or sabi na natin na loading operation, kapag maglo-load ka na, sabi natin na harmful substances, no? Sabi natin we're transferring a fuel oil. So yung fuel oil na yon, manggagaling sa port, ita-transfer sa vessel natin. So saan siya mapupunta? Nandun, meron tayong isang malaking container na constructed sa vessel natin. So ayun yung mga large size. Pero yung tinutukoy natin dito, ita-transport sa atin, naka-capsulate na or naka-package form na, nakapack na. Maliit siya, hindi siya bulto-bulto. No, nakakapack, so it is called the package form. Hindi siya yung katulad ng from port to vessel. So ito, pagdating sa port, nakapack na, ita-transfer na lang sa vessel natin. So in this one, it is applies for the ships carrying harmful substances in a package form. It is exempt in the accordance of the annex. So empty packaging, while being previously for the carriage of harmful substances, such shall themselves treated as harmful substances, and it is requires for the annex. So do not apply for these stores and the equipment. So next, package shall be minimized, no? For the marine for the hazards of marine environment, and regarding to their specific contents, meron din siya specific weight, and what is under this package form, meron siyang sticker na nakalagay doon kung ano bang content meron to, and if it is harmful or another type of IMDG code. So yung mga code na yon, it is signifies or it is labeled kung ano yung nilalaman ng package form na ilalagay nyo sa vessel nyo or ita-transport through your vessel. So for labeling naman, kapag maglalagay tayo ng label sa package form natin, if it is containing a harmful substances, shall be durably marked and make the technical name further durably marked and labeled to indicate that the substance is marine pollutant. So para ma-identify siya na these goods are pollutant. And for this method, making correct technical name, hindi pwede kayong maglagay ng kung ano-anong name doon. So dapat yung name na ilalagay nyo diyan ay as follows as for the IMDG code, and affixing the labels of the identifiable packages. So surviving at least 3 months immersion at sea, ibig sabihin yung stickers na ilalagay natin or the markings na ilalagay natin, kahit na mabasa siya or kahit na mag-moist or kahit na mabasa, ay mainitan, mabasa, hindi siya magfe-fade, hindi siya matatanggal yung pagkakadikit, 'no? So, it is survive for 3 months, kaya sinasabing 3 months kasi yung 3 months na yon more than enough na yung voyage na yon para ma-transfer siya from another country, 'no? For example, from Asia to US, it takes 30 to 45 days. So, tendency more than 1 month. So yung 3 months na yon sobra-sobra na para hindi ma-deliver yung isang goods. So dapat daw yung mga markings is good for 3 months na hindi matatanggal, no? So more than enough na yung markings na pino-provide dapat. Next, for this regulation, it is regard for the contents, harmful substances such as durably marked in the correct technical name, and also such as identification should be supplemented possible in other terms, for example by use of the United Nations number. So in marking and labeling, you should use the United Nations symbol or UN. It can be included in the lower letter U and lowercase n, no, and it is encircled by the uppercase UN, no. So it is this is the symbol, no? So for packaging, type of container na dapat natin gamitin in a package form. So we can use drums, pails, barrels, jerrycans, boxes, bags, composite packaging, and pressure receptacle, no? So ayun yung pwede natin gamitin for the types of the container na gagamitin natin in a package form. Pagdating naman natin dito sa Annex 4 in a sewage pollution prevention. So sewage, it is the waste coming from humans and i-discharge natin through the sea. No, ito yung mga tain na tinatawag natin. So drainage and see other ways from any form of toilets and urinals, no? So imagine paano natin tinidispose yung mga dumi natin coming from our body, i-dispose natin sa toilet, then how the toilets dispose it through the sea, no? Kung dire-diretso ba siyang i-dispose or dadaan ba siya ng purification or filtration. So drainage from medical premises or the dispensary, sick bay via wash basins, wash tubs, and scuppers located from such premises. So drainage from spaces containing living animals and other wastewaters can be mixed for the drainage defined as above. So ang pag-dispose ng ano natin ng sewage is dadaan siya sa filtration, then dadaan din siya sa purification bago siya i-dispose sa dagat para malaman natin na safe na 'to if it is going to eat by the marine life natin, no? So this process and this procedure will go under the engine department. So sila yung may hawak dito sa process na 'to and sila din yung ah magte-take ng role or responsible for this process, then i-inform lang tayo sa deck kung magdi-dispose ba or pwede bang mag-dispose ng sewage through special areas or to the nearest land. No? Ayun yung mga sinasabi ko nang gagamitin yung mga term na dinefine natin kanina. So what is this effect? So diseases to humans because if it is a bacteria and also it is a virus. So what is the result of this? If you can see in 1992 to 2002, the sediments of sewage. So natatakpan niya yung corals and the corals who filters the ocean kaya lumalabo yung dagat natin or nagkakaroon ng pollution. Kasi yung corals natin na nagfi-filter na bablanket ng sewage, no? And overgrowth due to enrich the nutrients, syempre nawawalan ng nutrients yung kung hindi man siya makain ng mga marine life natin, so magkakaroon siya ng algae or oxygen deficiency, sediments spreading toxic waste, and production of loss of fish and other organisms. So nawawalan yung cycle of life sa dagat, no? Kasi syempre imbis na direct na makain, nawawalan din ng tandaan nyo, no, yung fish natin, kumukuha din sila ng oxygen through the plants under the sea. So how can they produce oxygen if the sewage is already blanketed the uh, natural resources or the resources under the sea? No, yung ating mga coral reefs. So what is the problems and concerns with this? So it is the excessive use of water on board and also leaking chemicals, large objects, food waste, storage capacity, and low attention of maintenance. So pagdating sa low attention of maintenance, who is guilty in charge, which is the crew on board. No? So syempre trabaho natin 'yan. So dapat aware tayo kung ano yung mga di-discharge natin, aware tayo kung ano yung dapat i-maintain, aware tayo kung magkakaroon ba ng leaking sa barko, nag-overflow ba or tumatapon ba sa dagat. So all of these problems and concerns is responsible tayo, no? And it is our duty to maintain the cleanliness sa dagat. Yes, cleanliness sa dagat. So again, we should be careful on what we are throwing through the water, no? May mga karampatang ano yan, charge or penalty. So what is the risk? So sickness, worm, leak should be rectified, can use hazard to human health, Asian gypsy moth and pest, no? So naranasan ko yung Asian gypsy moth and pest sa vessel. Para siyang gamo-gamo na ang bilis niya mag-produce on board and hindi naman siya nangangagat kaso mabilis siya mag-produce, tendency kaya niyang mag-produce ng hundreds in one day, tendency mako-cover niya buong accommodation and mahirap siyang i-totally zero or ma-mitigate, no? So under revised MARPOL for the Annex 5, so tapos na tayo sa MARPOL 1, Annex 1, Annex 2, Annex 3, Annex 4, then Annex 5. So Annex 1 is oil, 2, package form, 3, noxious liquid substances, 4, sewage, 5, it is regards with the garbage. So adopted on this enforce, adopted for the resolution, introduces the categories of garbage, new form of garbage record book. So all of the garbage on board, it is being noted on the garbage record book as well as the oil record book. The same lang din po siya. So animal carcasses means the bodies of any animals that are carried on board as cargo and that die and euthanized during the voyage. So another garbage din na di-dispose natin is yung mga coming from the livestock. Mahirap magtrabaho sa isang livestock. Imagine niyo kapag tumaiyan, yung mga nililinis niyong tayo is minsan hanggang bewang niyo na, 'no? Dahil siyempre kayo yung maglilinis niyan, kayo magdi-dispose at magiging prone kayo sa hindi lang sa bacteria, sa UTI, 'no? Kaya mahirap magtrabaho sa isang livestock kasi kahit sabihin na natin naka-separate sila ng location, but the aircon, filter, paulit-ulit lang 'yan, then iisa lang yung vessel nyo, tendency, naaamoy nyo pa rin, no? So, napakahirap magtrabaho sa isang livestock na vessel. So also cargo residues, remnants of any cargo that covered by annexes in which remain on deck or holds following loading and unloading, including the excess of spillage, whether it is wet or dry condition, entertained in wash but does not include the water. So dust remaining on the deck after the sweeping or dust, it is the external surface of the ship. So yung mga cargo residues na natitira right after ng loading operation natin or discharging operation, may mga natitira yang residue. So pag sinabing residue, parang kapag nagprito kayo ng padaliin natin yung ano yung ah, explanation. Kapag nagprito kayo ng sabi natin ng ham. So naprito niyo yung ham, so parang sa barko, na-transfer niyo yung cargo, naprito niyo yung ham, after niyo maprito yung ham, finished product na. Tapos na rin yung loading operation. But there's a residue sa pinagprituhan mo. So, ganun din sa barko. There's a residue sa pinanggalingan ng kargadang transfer mo. So, anong gagawin niyo sa residue na yon? So, siyempre lilinisin yon, and it is whether wet or dry cargo yung dala-dala niyo, meron siyang remnants or meron siyang, anong tawag dito, excess or spillage in which you can contribute to the pollution at sea. No, kasi siyempre lilinisin niyo 'yan. So siyempre saan niyo itatapon ngayon yung tanggalan niyo na ng residue? Sa dagat. Hindi niyo naman 'yan mako-contain sa barko. So that is what you call the cargo residues. And for the cooking oil, it means any type of edible oil and animal fat used intended to be used for the preparation of cooking oil of food but does not include the food itself prepared using this oil. So sa barkong nasakyan ko, no, yung mga cooking oil or yung mga oil coming from the galley department, sinesegregate nila yan, nilalagay nila sa isang malaking drum. Then, kapag dumating ng port, doon namin discharge yung cooking oil. Kasi it is also a pollutant at sea. If you miss kahit isang droplet lang, ang laki na ng mapoproduce niya or mako-cover niya kapag nag-spread yan sa tubig. No? So domestic waste, all types of domestic waste covered by annexes that are generated in accommodation of ship. So ano ba yung mga domestic waste natin? For example, nag-shore leave kayo. Bumili kayong sapatos. Oh, meron na kayong kalat doon, yung box. Hindi nyo naman dadalhin yung box. So yung box ngayon, it is kind of domestic waste. Or kumain kayo, meron kayong, nag-shore leave kayo, may dala kayong chocolate. Yung plastic na ginamit nyo, domestic waste din yon. So any kind of waste na mabibili nyo sa labas or gagamitin nyo on board, it is called a domestic waste na manggagaling sa kabina nyo. No? So we have the word en route. What you call the en route? So the word en route, so ang mga definitions to na ginagamit din sa Marpol, no? It is underway or at sea course or courses including deviation for the shortest direct route which is practicable for the navigation purposes, and it will cause a discharge spread over a great on area that the sea as reasonable and practicable. So ginagamit natin yung word na en route sa navigation, and it is also being used kapag magkakaroon tayo ng discharge or to spread over a great sea or in a reasonable or practicable uh, discharging of waste on the land, or rather on the ocean. So if we're going to ask na tatawagan natin yung captain, if for example no si chief engineer, tatawagin na si captain, captain, what we're going to have a en route on the nearest land. So en route, the definition. So en route, if the ship is underway at the sea. Kasi baka mamaya, nasa nearest land pa tayo pero hindi pa tayo en route. No? Baka mamaya, we are under the special area but our vessel is still not en route. No? So be familiar on en route. Next, fishing gear. Familiar kayo dyan, no? Need to explain. Fishing gear, any kinds of device that they're of combination of items that may be placed on the water and seabed, and it cause also to detrimental para sa mga ocean living creatures natin. No? For example, yan, yung ating tortoise, no? Na nahuli siya ng isang net, no? And it is not being collected at sea. So food waste. Food waste, any spoiled or unspoiled food that includes fruits, vegetables, or dairy products, poultry, meat products, and food scraps generated aboard ship. Ito yung mga tira-tira natin pagkain. So, sir, pwede po ba mag-dispose ng food waste since foods naman siya sa dagat? Pwede. Pero, again, we're going to ask the captain if we are on the nearest land or how many nautical miles yung kailangan nating pwede mag-dispose ng food waste. So, always call the captain if it is relevant to dispose a food waste. Sir, bakit natin kailangan tawagan? Siyempre, for example, messman ka, nasa galley department ka. Alam mo ba kung ilang nautical miles na yung layo natin sa dagat? Hindi mo naman siya matatansya ng tingin, sir, siguro nasa 1 nautical miles siya. Bakit? Kasi parang ilan di pa lang yan eh. Hindi pwedeng tansyahan dito. So dapat, kapag magtatapon ka ng food waste, it is a concise, no? Hindi yung mag-ano ka, chachamba-chamba ka lang na ano ng layo, no? It is very concise and it is inform also the captain, no? So garbage na halos na-cover up na rin natin yung garbage kanina. It is under the uh, Annex 5. So incinerator ashes. So yung na-cover natin last week yung incinerator, it is being a managed by the port engineer, no? Yung mga parang kine-cremate yung dating, no? Sinusunog yung mga solid waste natin para hindi maging bulto-bulto yung mga gamit natin sa ating garbage room para hindi lumiit yung spaces natin. So sinusunog natin para maging pulbura, no? And the nearest land, from the nearest land, it is established accordance with the international law, katulad na nabanggit natin kanina, from the nearest land of the northeastern coast of Australia. It is repetitive na. So for the operational waste also includes the cleaning agents and additives contained in cargo hold and external wash water. So operational waste does not include the gray water, bilge water, or other similar discharge essential to the operation of ship, taking into account the guidelines developed by the organization. So for plastics, no, ang plastic natin have a material properties ranging from hard and brittle to soft and elastic. So for this purpose, all of the annexes or all plastics means all the garbage that consists of includes plastic in any form, including synthetic ropes, plastic din yan, and synthetic fishing nets, plastic garbage bags, incinerator ashes from plastic products. So, it is called plastics. Alam naman natin maraming plastic. Okay. So, under Marple 6, tapos na tayo sa Marple Annex 5, Annex 6 na tayo, prevention pollution from ships. So, in this introduction, due its significant contribution to the anthropogenetic SO2 emission of global shipping might also play an important role into our climate change. So for the global NOx means noxious liquid substances, it is 15%, while 9% of the global SO2 emissions. So can contribute for the or attribute to the ships et al. So ano ba yung ibig sabihin ng SO2? So SO2 is sulfur dioxide, no? So it is very efficient way to transport goods to increase international ship traffics relatively to uh, sulfur oxide and noxious liquid substances. So why air emission is regulated? So because it is very harmful to human life, so we must regulate the uh, air emission. So what is the cases na pwede mangyari? First, we have the respiratory system. So it includes our nose, throat irritation, bronchoconstriction, dyspepsia, dyspnea or lung inflammation, respiratory infections, reduces lung functions. So, again, kaya sinasabi nila na delikado sa tanker kasi also hindi lang yung risk na pwedeng sumabog yung barko, also the tanker effect na tinatawag nila, no? And it includes the respiratory system. And if naapektuhan na yung respiratory system natin, pwede rin siya umabot sa ating nervous system, which is our neuropathies, memory and sleep disorder, neurological cancer, impaired mental and developmental of children. Effects to human health, also in our cardiovascular, sa ating heart, our heart circulation or angina myocardial, infraction, tachycardia, and increased blood pressure. So, very common siya sa mga tankerman, no? Katulad namin. So, if you are, if you think that you can stop immediately, kung marami ka na naipon, then stop. Kasi wag mong hahayaan na yung body mo is ma magkaroon ng problema with regards to tanker effect, but it doesn't mean na laging ganyan, no? So, ang sa akin lang is prevention is better than cure. So, since meron naman tayong medical every time na magjo-join tayo ng vessel, so we must be very particular or self-aware pagdating sa ating health, no? So always check, lalo na kapag yung company nyo meron namang ah, insurance, so magpa-check kayo, no? Lalong-lalo na sa mga mapupunta sa mga tanker vessel. So, ano na ba yung mga cases na to kung bakit na-adapt? So, this protocol adapted to a conference held from September 15 to 26 of 1997, and it adds to the Annex 6. So, it is entered into force during 19 of May 2005. In these rules, it is also requests and revisions on the protocol to further enhance the regulation and also amend for the revisions and amendment was entered into force. So that is the development of this adaptation for the MARPOL. So, ratification of Annex 6, it is combined for the merchant fleets. So, familiar na kayo sa merchant fleets, and it kind of vessel that transports from one goods from one place to another. It is combined also by the fleets in which approximately 89.82% of the gross tonnage of the world's merchant fleet. Also, the European Union member states, Norway and Croatia, and none other European parties includes the Bahamas, Panama, Liberia, China, Republic of Korea, Marshall Islands, Japan, Singapore, US, and Russian Federation. So, ano ba yung ating application of this summary? So, for this summary, it includes the application. It is applied, no, para sa lahat ng vessel. And who does not apply? Suffering from damage to ship or equipment, saving life at sea, and securing safety of life. So, next, air pollution and events to the effects to the environment. So, it is the ocean depleting. So, harmful substances like the ultraviolet rays from 93 to 99%. So, it reactions involves the chlorine, bromine, and caused by the ocean southern polar region to destroy it. It's rapidly severely for the ozone for 2006 of September 24. So, Dobson unit or DU is the unit measure for the total ozone layer. So, ayun yung unit na ginagamit natin for the measure of the our ozone layer. So, bakit ba tayo nagkakaroon ng global warming? So, emission of SOx and NOx, then from the acid rain, magkakaroon tayo ng dry decomposition particulates the atmosphere, then magkakaroon tayo ng acid rain. And also, sino ba yung mababasa? Yung mga plants natin. When the wet deposition precipitation, also it dies the uh, plants or the trees. So property damage, trees and land ecosystem, and marine life. So that is the effect of acid rain. And of course, top of this, it is not only the effects, but the long-term effects is the global warming. So it is increased the average temperature of Earth's near surface air. And since it is mid 20th century, it is projected the continuation of global surface temperature, and the temperature has given between the start of the end of the 20th century. So kung mapapansin nyo, sometimes pabago-bago yung klima kasi nagbabago na yung ating global or nagkakaroon tayo ng global warming tendency na babago na yung formation ng for example no yung sa North Pole nagkakaroon na ng ang tawag dito nalulusaw na yung ice, then minsan magugulat ka sa mga Middle East dati hindi naman umuulan, ngayon umuulan na. So nagbabago yung panahon kasi due to global warming. So that includes our lesson for today, and I have a surprise, wala tayong exercises mamaya, so enjoy the rest of the day. No? For this time, no, gusto ko lang i-relax nyo lang sarili nyo and try to watch again the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Ipopromote ko na rin, no, since wala naman kayong gagawin mamaya. And again, no, enjoy the rest of the day and God bless. Thank you.